all bacteria is not bad. We understand that we have to live around bacteria in order to survive, that it helps our immune systems. We know that. That's a part we do know. I think everybody knows, you need a couple germs to, so you can fight the bad germs and all that, and too much Purell might not be a good thing. We've heard all this stuff. Heard it on all the talk shows. But tell me, how do you go about selling the tapeworms when it's illegal?
Well, you don't do it here in America. You can't do it in America.
So where do you do it?
We do it in Mexico.
You do it in Mexico? To Mexican women or women from around the world?
From around the world who come to our clinic to be treated for immune dysregulation and autoimmunity
and weight loss.
I've never treated anyone purely for weight loss. I've only treated people with immune dysregulation or autoimmunity. And we have seen the interesting side effect of weight loss in these individuals. And this is not, an unusual event. So if someone came to you and
said they wanted to lose weight, would you say, I'm not going to give it to you for that?
We reject 50 for every one that we treat.
Okay, and you have a website. And they have to come to a meeting in person with you to get
We have pre-treatment screenings, then they're passed off to the doctor down in Mexico, then they have to go down to Mexico, where they have to sign all sorts of releases to make sure they understand the FDA personal import policy, which is part of a process that the FDA allows people who have conditions for which there is no comparable treatment in the United States access to experimental therapies.
Well, the video we showed earlier in the show is actually of you getting the tapeworms from the cows. Do you feel that it's cruelty to animals?
Well, these animals, in fact, are in the Mara region of Kenya, Africa. And these people, you can see, these are all Mara Maasai. They're cattlemen by tradition, by culture. That is their source of protein in their diet. It's either goat milk or it's cow meat. And those animals are not pets.
I don't understand what you're saying. I'm a carnivore. I eat meat. So what I'm saying is force-feeding
That meat's not wasted. That meat is consumed.
I understand that, but I'm just saying force-feeding the cow the tapeworm.
Oh, yeah, when you deworm them, you do the same thing to them. They're cows.
Okay.
I don't mean to be mean to cows.
Tell me, you were infected by you self-infected yourself with a tapeworm before.
Yes.
Okay, and what did you feel coming out of your bottom?
Well, you feel a little wiggle and tickle. It's very, it's very unpleasant, psychologically and physically.
And then you felt something cold drop down the back of your leg?
That's what happened. But that side effect, that doesn't occur until 100 days into the therapy. So you can end the therapy before you get a sexually mature worm that starts to shed those segments. I did it because I wanted to identify the species of tapeworm that I had taken.
Are you a doctor?
No, I'm an amateur in every sense of the word.
Okay, did you attend medical school or anything?
No.
No. Okay, now you say that it's not for diet, that it's only for asthma and autoimmune.
Well, people have used it historically for diets.
No, yours. Yours.
Yes,
but isn't the word diet in your URL?
Yes.
So the word diet is in your URL because you're a businessman, and you know that more people will probably be coming to you to lose some weight than to stop some asthma.
That website was started to give people some information because there's a tremendous amount of misinformation about these organisms.
So the website is really geared to lose weight with the tapeworm.
That website is to distribute information about the tapeworm.
And but can you say tapeworminformation.org? Or you have to say something with the word diet in it.
Well, that's how people know these organisms. And this is the idea of introducing...
No, they don't. They don't know tapeworm is diet.
You don't know that? You haven't heard that saying?
I do now.
That eat a tapeworm, eating like you have a tapeworm?
No. I've heard you look skinny and you have a tapeworm.
Exactly. People know about that side effect of having a tapeworm inoculation.
Oh, my God. If this was like Law and Order, you would be like, bam, guilty. Like, I'm not a lawyer, but, I mean, come on.
Listen, I get it. I understand. People are interested in the weight loss aspects of this. So I have a website that says Tapeworm Diet. And then people can learn more about these organisms and hopefully get past some of the ick response and and it's a weird word to use, but sort of prejudice.
How much does it cost?
The average client that comes to our clinic and treated spends a couple $1,000s.
Like how much? Like $2,000, $3,000? All righty. Businessman.
Well, yeah, I guess.
We'll be right back. Up next, are these extreme diet options something that you would consider to drop weight? I have my ear stapled. sewing a piece of mesh to the actual tongue.
I lost 110 pounds.
Okay, so we've been talking about extreme dieting, like the tapeworm diet, and by no means do I or the Tyra Show condone putting a tapeworm in your body to lose weight. We're going to go on. We're moving on now. There's some quite interesting other ways to lose weight. We've heard, have you heard of, people padlocking their refrigerators, or people getting their jaws wired shut, or getting hypnosis? But have you ever heard of someone sewing a piece of mesh to their tongue to stop them from swallowing food? Sewing a piece of mesh to the actual tongue. Well, Joanna's done that. She has something called the Chew-Gay tongue patch, and she's lost 15 pounds in 1 month. So you have mesh on your tongue?
Yes, I do.
Okay, explain what this is.
It's a procedure. Basically what it is it's a liquid diet. It's a procedure where they put a stamp-size mesh in your tongue, stitched, and you could chew, but you cannot swallow, so it prevents you, it restricts you from
swallowing.
From swallowing.
Solids.
Solid foods.
Okay, and how long did it take to put in your mouth?
8 minutes the most.
8 minutes? Did it hurt?
Not at all.
It did not hurt. Can I see your tongue? You see it? You guys see it? Wow, Dr. Chew-Gay is here. Did you invent this?
I developed this procedure, but I picked up the idea when I was traveling in South America and Mexico. I said, hey, this is something that we can really adapt and make a much more interesting procedure with. And then we also have a liquid diet that's included with that. It's powdered form diet.
Like, how long are you supposed to put something like that on your tongue?
Usually we keep it for about a month.
Uh-huh.
It can be kept longer, but I like to be conservative, so I keep it for a month.
So it's more of the diet of the, what do you call it, the high school reunion diet? For a reason, and then, because once it comes off, you're going to eat.
That gives us opportunity to really train the patient how to eat properly, how to exercise. It's kind of a pattern interrupt. And then also there's a clinical psychologist that works with us. Also, people can learn how to deal with their stresses.
Have you ever put it on your tongue?
I haven't.
You have not?
But I'm not too fat.
Okay, how much does it cost?
Our fee right now is $3,000.
Deb, you've done something a little bit differently. First of all, you've tried to lose weight all different types of ways, right?
Yes.
Didn't work?
No, I've had an issue all my life and have tried everything. And when my doctor suggested the lap band procedure, it really scared me. And I wanted to find a less invasive way to try to handle this problem. And also, I like to eat, and I want to be able to eat like a normal person.
And so tell us what you did.
I have my ears stapled. Actually, both ears stapled.
Stapled?
Yes.
What does that mean?
By my acupuncturist.
Stapled, like staplers?
Like a little staple.
That just looks like an earring.
Oh, the thing on the bottom is the earring. The staple is inside. You probably can't see it in the picture.
Oh, the little tiny thing on the inside. It's very tiny inside there.
Yeah.
And what does that do?
Well, at first, I really didn't think it did anything, and I thought, well, he's going to staple my mouth closed, and that's what's going to keep me from eating.
Yeah.
But really, what happens is you start to just get control of your emotional eating. You start to lose your cravings. I was a chocolate craver and a sweets craver, and I noticed that I wasn't craving those things anymore, and it was by accident, little by little.
So you lost some weight.
I lost 110 pounds.
What? Oh my gosh, 110 pounds?
In a year. I first got stapled a year ago, and it stays in for 3 months, and then it comes out for a couple of weeks, and then back in again.
Wow. What about infection? We have Joe here. Joe D'Antonia is a licensed acupuncturist and massage therapist. What about infection, Joe? Does this...
Well, as long as it's applied by a licensed acupuncturist, someone board certified, we're going to make sure that not only the placement is correct, but also the hygiene and the removal is not only done correctly, but also removed and painlessly.
Health Magazine contributor Dr. Rashina Rajapaksa, hello, is here. I thought I've heard it all, and I've heard crazy stuff that people do to lose weight. I've never heard of the tongue thing. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think there are two issues. One, as you very astutely brought up, the infection risk is an issue, and I think it's important when you're having any procedure done to really be aware of that. And, you know, a lot of these things to me sound like temporary solutions.
That's what I said, the high school reunion diet.
Right, and why
it's like
put
you wanted
yourself
to
at
cute
risk?
for a second.
Exactly. Why put yourself at risk for an infection if it's not going to be long term? And you know, we're talking about the liquid diet, and the doctor said, well, we're training them to eat better. Well, how can you really train someone if they're on a liquid diet? And I think the psychology that you employ is probably much more useful for them long term than anything